Welcome to the Veteran Yoga Project, Yoga Basics for Beginners. I'm Andy Fermo, co-founder of Invisible Injuries, a registered 200-hour yoga teacher, and your host for this super fun and informative Yoga Basics for Beginners course. Firstly, let me share my story and background of how yoga, active breathing, mindfulness came into my life and how taking a holistic approach using these tools has helped me with managing my symptoms of PTSD as part of my self-care plan. And it's also played a big part in reducing the chronic pain and physical injuries sustained during my 10-year military service. In the military, I always wanted to do a job that had elements of sneaky peeky, as well as being able to shoot a gun, blow stuff up and play with all the best gear and be adventurous, pushing my mental and physical ability to the limits. I got my wish, becoming a Commando Qualified Electronic Warfare Team Leader at 126 Signal Squadron 2 Commando Regiment, an Australian Army Special Forces unit based in Holsworthy in Sydney. Carrying heavy loads of combat and specialist equipment was part of my job, especially on my 2 operational tours of Afghanistan in 2007 and 2009. During my tours, I was exposed to many traumatic events, including what I call the trauma triangle, where there was an incident in which our Bushmaster vehicle ran over a roadside bomb, causing mass casualties to the members of our call sign, including me. After coming home and being in denial of my traumas and physical injuries, I soon developed symptoms of PTSD and was medically discharged in 2010. Lost and without purpose, for many years I found it hard to accept that I was now a different person and that I had physical and mental invisible injuries, and as much as I'd like, no longer able to do the things I could previously do without pain or struggle. Fast forwarding a few years, operations and rehab on my physical injuries and specialist care for PTSD, I thought I had a rock solid self-care plan. Until we moved interstate and I was struggling to find available specialist care, and I soon found myself in a dark place. My wife called a veteran friend of mine to help out, and he took me to a place called Mount Warning in the Gold Coast hinterland. This is where I was introduced to active breathing. He asked if I could dedicate 5 to 10 minutes of my life for 4 weeks. In return, he'd gift me a course which taught me the basics of active breathing. I replied yes, and after finding it difficult at first, it was so difficult, I persevered and soon discovered the benefits of a regular practice, including detoxing, weight management, becoming more self-aware of my body and also my mental state. And 7 years later, it's a daily staple of my morning routine. As a curious person, I sought to educate myself further and soon found other holistic methods of mindfulness, meditation, and most recently, yoga. This has enabled me to continue with training within my injury's limits, and also given me more mobility and a tool to manage my chronic pain, which supplements specialist treatment such as physiotherapy and exercise physiology. Each one of these methods is backed by credible evidence-based research and findings from leading industry authorities in Australia and worldwide. With this, the journey hasn't been easy because in today's society, these methods are still viewed by many in the general public and veterans and first responder communities as for women only. And I can tell you this is a load of bullshit. Yoga, breathing, mindfulness and meditation is for helped me so much in so many ways and is a great supplement to my specialist care and self-care plan. It's the reason I pay it forward to you and present this Yoga Basics for Beginners course to go through it in your own time, within your own range and ability, and in a safe space without judgment. So from me, I love to eat good food, I like it tasty, I love to cook, but it's nutritious, right? It includes meat and it includes fish and all the other tasty things that we have, but it's to a nutrition plan that works for me and my body. All right, so, but I'm not gonna ask you to become a vegan, even though popular belief leads people to think that you also need to become a vegan. That's not the case. and I can tell you now, you don't need to do it. All right, so that's cool. Secondly is I do like to have a social alcoholic drink, and I feel that for me, I'm in control of my drinking. But if you don't drink, that's also cool. But also the same thing again, you know, some of the popular beliefs is that you have to totally cut everything away and just eat beans and lentils. That's a load of bullshit. Some people want to go that way, and I think that that's cool, and that's part of the methodology down the track of what you might want. But that's not me, and neither, it doesn't need to be you either. So I'm not going to ask you to do those things. All right, so I have a dad bod. Yes, there's a little bit of fluff here, and I am pretty fit. I like to keep fit, and that helps with me with my self-care plan. But you don't need to be the super skinny, contort into crazy shapes like you might see on social media. Yoga's not about that, all right? But what I can promise is that I can do the correct technique to my mobility and physical ability. My mobility limits and physical ability. What I can also promise is no woo-woo, no bullshit teachings without the fluff. All right, so I'm going to break it down into more military-esque or veteran or first responder-esque type teachings, so then that way you get the most out of this. So a little disclaimer, this is a beginner's yoga course which will teach you the beginner's basics and foundations. By the end, you'll be able to follow along with mine and other online teachings and understand some commonly used terms and phrases so that you can be more confident and comfortable to practice and set yourself up for a consistent practice and success with these methods. In this course, you'll find 6 different lessons, introducing you to different concepts of yoga in a very basic way. More than just the poses, you're going to get breath work, meditation, mantras, and just a bunch of different things. They'll help you feel more confident as a yoga student, walking into your very first class or developing your own simple at-home yoga practice. Each lesson is about 10 to 20 minutes long, so you just watch through it and then practice some of the concepts of breath work and the poses that I talk about in your own time. I'm excited that you've made it here and that you're going to have a go. That's the most important thing, is getting to the start line and having a go. Wait to see your progress in your yoga practice. Of course, you can find me across most social media platforms through Invisible Injuries. The links will be below or in the description. So we have an Instagram, we have our Facebook and our YouTube, and of course, our website. So if you've got insights from any of the practices you'd like to share or discuss, please hit me up via the socials or Messenger or via email. There's so many different ways, but through our email, it's Andy, A-N-D-Y, @invisibleInjuries.org.au. So without further ado, let's hook in and into lesson 1, and I'll see you there.